Hey, what's up everyone? Maze here, and we are looking at a 1v1 matchup today between TickTok and the Zerg player Equips, and we are playing on Metalopolis today, and TickTok going for an early probe right at 6. Yeah, so TickTok, always kind of an unconventional player. I guess you could kind of call his playstyle Teenage Rebellion because he just really doesn't follow any of the conventions or any of the rules of the game. He just likes to do whatever he wants. So he's playing on Metalopolis and he's like, why not just try and go for what I assume to be an early proxy, because there's no reason to really send out a scout this early. And so here's kind of, this is also an early scout, kind of sending it out around 8, I believe. So this drone early as well, but TickTok definitely has is gonna see this guy soon. He saw this drone just came out of here, and the Zerg player is like, well, he must be right here because there's no way that a Protoss player will send out a scout this early. So looks like he is scouting around. There's a pylon right there, so he is going to be trying to proxy in this area. So TickTok moving in here quickly and then moving back out around so he can try to make it look like he's scouting. And even look at this TickTok is putting a pylon in his base too, so he doesn't alarm the Zerg player that he is actually going for a proxy rush like this. So like I said, TickTok just going against all the conventions of the game. Usually a proxy rush, you won't do something like this, but I kind of like this idea here, because then the Zerg player is just waiting to see what you're going to build, and in the meantime, you'll be able to get your gateways out fast enough. And so yeah, this guy is now going his spawning pool fairly early. I think this guy is a little bit fishy about what to expect, so I think he might, I don't know if he actually saw this. No, he didn't, but yeah, he sees the Overlord now is moving across. He saw that probe going out here, so that did alarm the Zerg player a little bit. And TickTok even trying to catch this drone. That drone dies right there in the mineral field. And so yeah, this early spawning pool is actually definitely going to help Equips a lot. I'm not sure why he went such a quick pool on Metalopolis, and especially once they're cross position, but going immediately for the Roach Warren and a Spine Crawler. So right now it is a race. I think the Spine Crawler might actually be in trouble if the Zealot gets out there in time. TickTok does not yet see the Spine Crawler, so yeah, he doesn't know what to anticipate just yet, but he has an early Zealot coming out chrono boosted, and here he comes. He saved his chrono boost for two more Zealots, so he's going to be trying to kill the Spine Crawler, but if the Zerg player pulls off his drones, it's going to be really difficult for him to get it. Yeah, so I think TickTok is going to be in a really tough spot right now, because this Spine Crawler is pretty much up, and he's going to have roaches soon, so I'm not sure how TickTok's really going to be able to get out of this pickle here. Probe even doing a little bit of damage to those Zerglings. Here moves the Zealot's gonna die. Oh no, the Zealot's dead. And these Spine Crawlers are fairly well placed. They were kind of hastily placed, but really, they are pretty good. I don't think that he's going to be able, I don't think that TickTok's really going to be able to take out any drones here, maybe a couple, but he is pretty much in range of that Spine Crawler, but it doesn't really matter at this point. He does have a Roach. TickTok now realizing he is a little bit undermanned. Those spines are poking away at these Zealots, and yeah, there's just not much that he can do right now, so a little bit of a tough break for TickTok here. I really am surprised that Equips went that fast spawning pool, but at the same time, if you look at the harvester count, it's 16 probes to 11 drones, so TickTok might actually be able to recover from this if he builds quick enough in his base. So he's going to be losing this gateway and this pylon and a lot of early economy, but the Zerg player also lost a lot of early economy fending this off. I mean, he made 2 spines. I don't really know if that was necessary to hurt his economy that bad if he was getting roaches and he already had 1 Spine Crawler going down. So actually, if you think about it, it is a fairly even matchup. I'm sure the resources lost are not in TickTok's favor, but as you see right here, he has all this money pulled up, and he was able to make 2 gateways, a forge, and a cybernetics core immediately. He even already has an assimilator mining gas. So TickTok building a photon cannon. He actually is completely walled off right now, and this probe is like, I'm just gonna stay on the front lines here. No one is getting in here. So the Zerg player is now marching across the map with his roaches and his Zerglings. And in production, we see there's a stalker for TickTok, metabolic boost for the Zerg player, And that's about it for the Zerg player at this time. Like I said, he doesn't have much of an economy, and the Warrior Probe is trying to fend off the line, but I think he's going to die there. The Zerg player, the Zergling does get him, and one Zergling does go down to that Photon Cannon as well. So right now, TickTok is pretty well walled off. I mean, he has his Photon Cannon here, he has a Stalker, so this Zerg player is not going to be able to do that much to TickTok at the moment. But the trick here right now is for Eclipse to start getting back up on the economy, which is what he is doing. He is immediately throwing down this fast hatchery, so that is good. If you find yourself fending off something very early, you definitely need to make sure that your economy is in good hands, because really the person who is proxying is in control of the game, because they know how many harvesters you have. They have pretty much full map control, and at the same time, they know how much in relative to, how many harvesters relative to you they should be producing, so that in case it fails, they can be up in the economy game as well. So you got to keep that in mind if you are fighting against someone who is proxying, and also if you are proxying, try to use that as a scout as well. If you think it's going to go down, I mean, it's not always a lost cause, as you just see if you fail at a proxy rush. So keep in the game. I honestly think it's a pretty even fight right now. It's 4 Stalkers versus 3 Roaches and a Zergling. TickTok has the bigger army right now. So TickTok destroying this Photon Cannon because he's going to have to get off. I mean, at this point, he kind of has to. I mean, the only way he can get out of his base is if he researches Blink and stuff. So, not really worth it for him. So, he just destroyed the Photon Cannon. And going for a 3-gate so far. Probably going to go for 4-gate, I assume. I don't see TickTok go Colossus all that much, so we probably won't see that. One Zergling here is standing guard, making sure that TickTok is not expanding, so the Zerg player actually doing a fairly good job right now in trying to keep up in the game and ensure that he's going to have better macro than the Protoss player. Twilight Council right away, so actually we might see some fast blink or some fast legs. Cybernetics core research is done, the warp gate research I mean, and the gateway is being constructed as well. So yes, we are going to see a 4-gate. And TickTok even has these sentries here, so what's nice to include in your mix as a Protoss player when you have these sentries here is in case there's banelings or something, you'll be able to block off your choke. This is actually a pretty nice choke by TickTok right now because there's no weak point for a baneling bust to get through, except for right here. He has to go through an entire army. But if you micro it well enough, you can manage the banelings pretty well with a couple of force fields. And this Zergling is for sure gonna see his last days, and TickTok I think going for an expansion. So yes, he is, and the Zerg player is definitely up on the economy right now, as we see the income is just enormous right now for Equips, and Spire even coming up right now. So I think we're probably gonna see Ling Muta. What's in production? 12 Lings. So yeah, for sure we're gonna see Ling Muta, and looks like legs for TickTok. So kind of an interesting choice. He is getting legs right now for his Zealots. I probably personally would have picked Blink because I feel like it's a little bit better of a move against Zerg range, and I don't think Charge is all that helpful against Hydralisk or anything. I mean, that's probably the best unit it's for, but then again, Zealots are not really that great against Hydra, so I think I personally would have picked Blink there, so I might even be able to get some harass, or use your Blink as a phase shift. When you have Blink, don't just blink all your Stalkers at once. I mean, you can do that, but if you're fighting, it's nice to have kind of a Stalker line here, and then after your Stalker is taking a couple of hits, blink them back here, so that you're pretty much using your Blink like a phase shift. And what that does is it kind of artificially increases the life of the Stalker, because he's able to regenerate his shields a little bit, and the AI for the opposing player is going to be constantly switching targets. So you're going to have a lot of weaker units, but they're going to have a lot of dead units, if that makes. They're going to have more dead units. So TickTok is now moving out. He has a sizable force right here, so he is feeling pretty confident that he's going to be able to do something here. And Equips does have those 4 mutas, and he is making 14 more Zerglings and another 4 mutas. So I don't think TickTok's going to be able to take this. I mean, that is a lot of Zerglings right now. It is 33 Lings and 4 mutas and 3 Roaches. Actually 8 mutas right now, and a premature shield. He's trying to make a funnel right here, so good move by TickTok and try to avoid the Spine Crawlers. And here comes the Zerglings. Zealots are out in place, and he is trying to take down those mutas, but that has a lot. Double Guardian Shield right now going down. for TickTok, but that is just too many Zerglings for TickTok to deal with, and he is going to be in a tough position. He's not using his mutas. I'm not sure if that's really a wise choice. I think he really could have picked off a couple of units there, and these sentries might go down as well. They're just a little too slow. Sentries are dying. Equips is continuing the macro game. He is getting that next expansion, and this base could definitely use a little bit more saturation. He went for this fast expand. I'm not sure why he doesn't have any more. It really is to your benefit. I mean, this isn't even a fully saturated base at all, so Equip should be getting more probes here. TickTok doing a good job in saturation. Holy crap, 3 Stargates for TickTok. So TickTok sees those mutas, and right away he is going for 3 Stargates. Like I said, TickTok just doesn't care, man. He's going to do whatever he feels like doing. And it's actually a pretty good idea. I mean, I'm going to guess that TickTok is going to be going Phoenixes right now, and Phoenix is a great counter against Zergling Muta, because you're using that gas for your Phoenixes, and if you have Zealots, then that will pretty much deal with the Zergling, because Zealots are a great counter against Zerglings, and Phoenix are a great counter against Mutas. And the reason that I like Phoenix, I actually recommended this to TickTok back in the day, that it's kind of nice to, if you're fighting a lot of Mutalisks, it's nice to have a nice mix, because Zerg can hard switch really quickly. They need 1 building, and then they can produce whatever they have from X amount of larvae. Protoss, on the other hand, it takes them a lot longer for them to hard switch, because they have to construct buildings and production facilities. So pretty much what where that leaves you as a Protoss player when you're fighting Muta